Today I'm going to show you how to make a Skittles cake. I have some red velvet cake mixture here and I'm adding it to a bowl. I'm also adding 200 ml of water and 105 milliliters of oil. I'm also adding 3 eggs. And then I'm whisking it all together. We don't want any lumps. Perfect. Pour half the mixture into a greased cake tin. And pour the remaining mixture into another greased cake tin. We now have 2 perfect cakes. Bake until they are cooked through and leave to cool. I'm now adding 250 grams of unsalted butter into a bowl and softening it. Gradually add 400 grams of icing sugar. Keep mixing. This is going to taste delicious. Once the cakes are cool, remove them from the tin and take off the baking paper. We're now going to slice the top of each of the cakes. This means that they'll sit on top of each other perfectly. Spread the buttercream onto the top of one of the cakes. Place the second cake on top. Now we're going to coat the whole cake with buttercream. Yum! Don't forget to do the sides. Looking good. And we haven't even done the decorations yet. Let's leave that to set. Let's prepare our toppings. I have some strawberry laces and I am cutting them the same length as a Kit Kat. I also have my Skittles. Let's go back to the cake and add a second layer of buttercream. Place the Kit Kats and strawberry laces along the side of the cake. Perfect. 2 Kit Kats and then some strawberry laces. We want to do this all the way around the edge of the cake. Perfect! It looks great already. Now we simply want to pour the Skittles on top of the cake. They're not going to go anywhere because we've created a little mini fence with our Kit Kats. And there you have it, a Skittles cake. Super sweet and super delicious. Perfect for a birthday party. Today I'm going to show you how to make Lego cakes. Don't these look awesome? So for this you're going to need 225 grams of self-raising flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, fondant icing, 4 eggs, 225 grams of butter, 225 grams of caster sugar, and Nutella. The first thing we're going to do is mix our baking powder in with our flour. Make sure you give it a good stir. Now we're going to add our butter to a bowl. Make sure you add the caster sugar and mix it in together. Sometimes it's best if you use your hands. Now beat the eggs. Add the eggs into the butter mixture and continue to stir. You want to make sure that there are no lumps. And then we're going to add our flour mixture in. It's best to add a little at a time so that you can stir and make sure it's well mixed. Keep going. I'm now using an electric whisk to make sure that there aren't any lumps. Perfect. Now we want to put this into a lined cake tin. Pop it in the oven at 180 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes, or until it's golden brown. The next thing we're going to do is to slice our cake. We want to make sure that it is rectangular in shape, just like Lego blocks. Make sure that all your pieces are roughly the same size. I'm cutting the last one in two. Now it's time to roll out our fondant icing. You could use any different colour you like, but I've got yellow. Make sure it's flat and smooth. Now we're going to take our Nutella and we're going to put it onto our cake. This is so that the fondant icing sticks and also to make it extra delicious. We want to cut any excess fondant icing off because we're going to fold up the edges to make a cube. Add some more Nutella and then wrap up your cake. Keep going. See how it's coming together? Now use your hands to square it off. To make it look like Lego, we're going to take the remaining icing and roll it into a long sausage shape. We then want to get 4 circles to put on top, like so. And there you have it. It looks like Lego. Isn't that cool? Now it's time to repeat the process with the red icing. We're going to do all of this again on our longer rectangular brick. Looking good! Don't forget to save any excess icing, because we need to do the circles on top. With these wider sections, it might be easy to use a spatula, like I am. Remember, you can smooth down any rough edges at the end. Now it's time to make the circles for the top. Because this is a bigger brick, I'm using 6 circles. Like normal Lego. Cool, huh? Perfect! And there you have it. Remember, you can do any different shapes and sizes, and they all look like Lego cakes. Great! Today I'm going to show you how to make a fruit cake. Perfect at Christmas time and delicious other times of the year too. All you're going to need is 225 grams of self-raising flour, 110 grams of butter, 5 tablespoons of milk, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 110 grams of sugar, 225 grams of mixed fruit, and 1 egg that's been beaten. For decoration, you're also going to need edible gold spray, yellow fondant icing, green fondant icing, red fondant icing, white fondant icing. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is to put our flour and our butter into a bowl. Use your hands to mix it all up. We're now going to add our sugar, our cinnamon, and give it a good stir. Now we add the dried fruit, and make sure that's mixed in too. Once that's done, add your egg, and finally your milk. Make sure that it's all stirred in together, and when you're happy, we're going to put that into a lined baking tray. Make sure you smooth down the top. Then we're going to put it in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 1 hour, and this is what it'll look like. Let that cool, and now let's get started on the icing. Take your white fondant icing and roll it out using a rolling pin. Now transfer it onto the top of your cake. I've put my icing onto baking paper so that it won't stick to the surface. You can use an extra bit of baking paper to press it down on the edges. Now take a knife and cut off any excess from around the edges. Use your knife to smooth down any extra bits that are sticking up. Set the cake to one side and take your yellow icing, roll it out flat. Now using your knife, we're going to cut out a bell shape. Like so. Smooth down all the edges using a knife and then your fingers. We need 2 bells, so cut out another one. Now take your gold spray and spray the top of the bells. Set them to one side. We now need to take the green icing and roll it flat. We're going to make leaves out of this. Use your knife to cut the shapes out. I've got 4 leaves. I'm using my knife to score a line down the middle and also at the edges, just to make them look more like leaves. Looking good. We're nearly finished with the decoration. Once you're happy with your leaves, we're going to take, finally, the red fondant icing and we're going to roll it into little balls. Keep going. I have 6. So now let's put it all together on top of our cake. First 1 bell, then the second bell. Now we're going to add the leaves. And then the red berries. And we're done. Doesn't that look great? A perfect fruit cake. So thank you very much for watching HooplaKidz recipes, everyone. If you have enjoyed this video, please do let us know in the comment box below because we love hearing from you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and we'll see you again next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!